All right. This is the pre going live. Part of the Al Trucker Show. We don't really have a name for the show, do we? It's just Al Trucker doing whatever the fuck Al Trucker does. Well, I'm home recovering from my first day back trying work, so we're giving it a shot. It's a pretty good day. See how it goes. Starting slow. Hey, Commander, good to see you. Did you make it to the UK? I know you were on Slim's yesterday, but I couldn't hear you talking. I know your voice changer sometimes screws stuff up with the stream and the delay. But it's good to see it. You're in the UK with Dog. Okay, say hi to Dog for me. I hope you guys are doing all right. He said he was picking you up at the airport early this morning. So that's awesome. I'm sorry I never got to meet up with you when you were nearby here. My schedule and my whole life was screwed up. But we'll come down and we'll visit you because, like I said, my family wants to go visit the region of the U.S. that you're moving to. Or I guess you've moved there now. I'm not sure if that's right. But anyway, we don't need to dox you or anything. I know you moved out to the East Coast. So yeah, I'm starting up my show here. And I'm I wanted to talk about a few things. Mostly about getting back to work and how big of a shock to my body it was for the first day. But it was good. I was winded for sure. They started me with really easy stuff, like 90% driving, 10% loading. And it was all stuff where, it was like light chains. They had me on a trailer moving equipment, but the kind of stuff that gets chained down with light duty chains. It was good. So if it goes well, I'll try another day. We'll see how it goes. And then, hopefully I can get right back at it. I've mentioned to people I'm going to a conference. I'm working on my fellowship. I spent a few minutes working on fellowship artwork this morning. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go live while I have a chance to go live. I know I'm up against Chris, usually this time slot, and I wish Chris well. I love his show. I'll probably go over there and hang out. That's the Damn Show, the Daily Atheist Morning Show. He was on last night, too. And Chris, I think Chris and I got to meet on Joe, the Kentucky Atheist Show last week one day. We were having a chat about a bunch of shit, but that was a good show. And I've been thinking about a lot of stuff because there's a couple of things I just can't get off my mind. And today is in the USA. Today is election day, and it's a pretty big day. Now, I think people have pointed out, and Slim's show last night was fun to jump on. I got a chance to get in there and have a little chat right towards the end because I had to fuel up the truck and stuff. And I didn't even have my headset with me yesterday. And my headset's dead. I think I'm gonna see if I can play with it today. See if I can get it to work. I'll probably try phoning a friend or something. See if it works. I can see you. Yes, Joe. I can see you here. Your quote's coming up. Your quote is coming up. So yeah. I was just saying I met Chris on your show. Or I saw him on your show. He saw me on the show. I can't remember how it went, but I've seen Chris do his show. I've been commenting on Chris's show. I was there. Oh, you're a mod? Yes, you are a mod here, Joe. Did you not know you were a mod? Yeah, I made you a mod, Joe, because I generally don't have problems here. People don't. I'm too small for people to give a fuck about me, but every once in a while, some people come in here and cause some issues. When I do, especially for those of you, is that the only reason I can see you is because you're a mod? Why are you trying to hide yourself, Joe, or are you having issues like the way Dave was? Do you want to be unmodded to see if something? I can unmod you and remod you, I guess. Do you want me to see if that works? Let's see. There's got to be a way to. No, you know what? I can't do it from here because I'm in StreamYard. I need to go over to YouTube then, right? Which is doable. I want to add a tab and make it YouTube. And let's see if I can find myself on here. I don't know what this is. Should I know who this person is? Okay. my videos. It'd be my channel. Oh yeah, I got new songs out live. Let's see. Am I live? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. So I can go to this live show. But this is like taking me to editing. I just want to watch the video. Jesus. This is like I'm in YouTube studio. Okay, shit. That's my problem. History. Your videos. Can I just is this gonna take me to studio again? Yeah, it's taking me to studio again. Okay. Um Here we go. Here. Now there we go. Okay. Mute myself. Do this. Okay, let's see what happens here. Here, I removed you as a moderator. Okay, so I took away your mod status there. So let's see what happens. Come back here. So try it again. Try it again, Joe. I got it done. Hey, dog, what do you want to share? Do you want to come on, dog? Is that what you're saying? Share. Share. Dog, just tell me if you want to, like, do you want me to make this a panel show? Is that what you're saying, dog? Because I can. I wasn't going to, but I can. Okay, so Joe, try posting again. We'll see what happens. I assume you're doing it. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go here, and then I'm not seeing anything, so I'm adding you as a moderator again. And then at least hopefully I'll see you. There we go. Now, yeah, okay. Yeah, so now I made you a mod again. So yeah. So Joe, I don't know what's going on, but I guess you're having trouble posting comments, but you're not like banned or anything that I know of. Share the video. Share the video. Which video? Yeah, I sent 100 messages. Holy fuck. Well, Joe, imagine if they all come in later. Okay. Which video do you want me to share, dog? I am confused. Do you want to see my new song video? Is that what you mean? Okay, I'll unmod you again. Okay. All right, we'll play this game first. Okay. Move standard moderator. Okay. There we go. Okay, I've unmodded you now, Joe. So we'll wait and see if you send something. Dog, can you just explain which video you want me to share? And then Joe, let me know. You send me a Discord message, Joe. I'll open my Discord, and if you send me a Discord message and tell me what to do, I'll do that. We were sitting about waiting for the car to charge. Put the link in Slim's Discord. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I don't even mind. I don't mind sharing it publicly. People, I won't put people on the stage if I don't know who they are. Copy and paste it. There you go. Yeah. If you guys want to come on and have a chat, we'll have a chat. We'll get some opinions here, right? All right. So yeah, Joe, assuming you can still hear me, or like, my viewer count went down, so I don't know. Joe might have gone somewhere else to try something, which is fine. That's fine. Yeah, and I'll take this the comment down. But yeah, go ahead, Dog and Commander. If you guys want to come on over here, I was talking to Dog briefly last night after the show, when he was saying he was going to bed so he could wake up early and go get Commander from the airport. So I didn't even realize Commander was traveling to the UK, because I've been kind of out of it. And I've been doing a bunch of stuff trying to get ready to go back. I've been doing a bunch of stuff with my fellowship project, which I'm getting really excited about. In a couple of weeks, we're flying down there. So I'm going to be at the conference. I'll be speaking, presenting with my partner, and with our whole group will be doing like a panel discussion. So I'm not sure what that'll be like. There'll be a whole bunch of us, because there's 8 of us plus our chief, the lady that looks after us, Lindsay. She's going to be there. So I imagine it'll be like 9 of us on the stage or something like that. I'm not sure how they'll set it up. For some reason, I'm known as amongst them as a public speaker, who gets up and says a lot of stuff and is kind of loud and gets into shit. which interestingly it's not really super fitting with what I've always thought my personality was. But as I've become an older man, I've been becoming very much wanting to express my opinion. I've developed my opinions over a long time, and I've realized that the biggest difference I can make is in looking at the things I've done that are kind of shitty, where I've made a mistake, and also looking at the things other people have done that are kind of shitty, and try to put that right, try to fix that. Dog is back. All right. Well, my view count went down. Hello, dog. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Got no sound from you. Are you muted? I'm just gonna check. No, I just muted you, but I'm gonna unmute you. I clicked on it instead of looking at it. There we go.
You can hear us.
So, dog, I can see your bubble moving, but I'm not hearing you for some reason, which is weird. Just check settings here, make sure I don't have something. Audio.
It's just stupid fucking smart.
But I'm assuming everyone's hearing me, and hopefully Dog will try speaking again. Don't know what's going on there.
Well, if
I'm not,
it's by my
phone moving, Dog, but I'm not hearing it. So let me just see if it's my volume. There we go. And then if other people can say if they're hearing Dog. Dog, please try again.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Dog. All right.
Oh, good.
I think what happened is this is my son's computer, and he was very rightly playing on it. And he, I think, turned the volume down because my son has sensory issues because he's on the autism spectrum. So he probably muted the whole computer, and I didn't realize that.
Bullshit. You're old and you know fuck all about tech.
That's right.
Simple.
I'm a fucking old man.
I'm here with Commander 401.
Hi.
Hey, Commander. How are you doing?
All right.
You have a nice trip down there?
Well, we're not here yet. We've had fun and games trying to find a fucking charger. We've tried 3. We had to pay a $5 to go into a Tesla one. It didn't fucking work. Tried another one. Didn't work. Had to pay £5 to get out the fucking Tesla thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's been fucking nightmare. Then we finally found a garage or a gas station, as you call them, and they were refurbishing it, and they pulled all the fucking chargers out the fucking ground.
No,
then we went to another one that didn't work, and now we're here with one that does work, and we're actually charging now.
All right.
So,
well, I'm glad you're getting charged up. Yeah, I didn't. Have we talked electric cars before, Dog? I feel like we have, but it's been a while.
Well, we'll be on the road in 39 minutes. So
39 minutes. All right. And
that's how long it's going to take to charge.
That's to make the trip from the airport to your place, or is that like a full charge and you can just keep whipping around?
Oh, we're already about 40 miles away from the airport.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess what I'm asking is, does that like 40 minutes, or you've been there for a bit maybe? So like an hour of charging. How long can you go? How long of a trip can you drive on that? It's more than 40 miles.
About 215 in this weather, in the colder weather.
So you could go do chores and stuff. And the colder weather just makes it less efficient or more efficient?
Less efficient, of course.
Okay, so the colder it gets, the harder it is. I've heard things about temperature. Like, I have friends with electric cars and stuff, but I don't really talk to them about that kind of stuff much because they all have such short commutes. Except for one, and when they make the trip, they're going straight there, so they know they can make it, and they have a charger at the other end, like at their business. Like they have one at home, they have one at their business. They hop in the car, they make the drive, and they're there, basically, right?
Well, that's it. But that's it with an electric car. They'll tell you the range, which for this, it's only a small range. So I only use this is a big trip for me, 150 mile.
Yeah, like the round trip.
But, they don't tell you, if you just drove it without brake lights and running lights and all that stuff and indicators and your radio on and aircon in the summer, then you're not going to get your 260 miles out of it, even if you had it on the low rate. But anyway,
Yeah.
Electric cars, they're getting better and better.
Well,
Batteries are getting
they
better.
are and they will. So is yours a Tesla dog or is it a different one?
No, it's a Peugeot.
A Peugeot, okay.
Or Peugeot, whatever.
Peugeot. You know I speak French, right?
All right.
I've been in a Peugeot.
This is
And
the 2008.
I've been in a Renault.
This is the new model.
I visited France, and everybody had a Peugeot, except for all the people that lived in the building. My cousins.
Yeah, this is the new model 208. Yeah.
The 208. Should we be checking out what this is? Is it a hot looking car, dog?
2008.
It's nice.
Oh, it's.
Oh, that's the year.
It's the
year you have.
No.
Okay.
No, it's called the Peugeot 208 E2008 GT.
E2008. Okay, the subcompact crossover. Here we go.
It's 2020. The 2023 version.
All right.
The new version of it.
Okay. Well, here we're gonna check this out. So I'm gonna figure out a way to share this page, and we're gonna go over this car. I've lost all of my viewers now.
Oh, I apologize.
It's okay. It's not your fault. There we go.
You only had one.
Yeah. Well, I had. I don't trust the damn thing. It said I had 6, and then here we go. This is that's a Kia Soul. What the hell is this? Okay. Here, share this tab instead. Okay. That's a 2019.
No, it's a newer model. It's got the 3 scratch mark running lights, like the line.
It's this one here, I bet, right?
No, it's the one. It's the one after that.
So this is even an old one.
Yeah, put the 2020. See the running light underneath the headlights. That white stripe. Mine's got 3 of them.
3 and 3. Okay, so that's the picture I'm looking for. So I should look. It's the GT.
Just put
130.
Just put GT.
No,
20.
I'm just gonna put the. It's the
just
208 electric. 2023. Here it is. There's a thing for it. So this is what. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah,
that's not a bad looking car.
That's the same color I've got as well.
I can pick one of these up from London Luxury Cars. It's luxury.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, it cost me almost 50 grand. It's not cheap.
I don't need to talk to Ashley about this. I'm looking at what they have available. Okay, so there's a 1990 Porsche 964 for only 169 grand. Now, is that going to be? That says dollars to me, but is that actually going to be pounds, or is it actually converting to my dollars?
Well, mine cost 48, and that was pounds.
48,000 pounds. View inventory.
Yeah, so probably 60,000.
Oh no, here we go. They've got all of this. Okay, a Canadian car, extensive. That's weird. There's a Canadian car here.
Yeah, I'm sure this is.
This is. You know what? It's gone to London. I think this is London, Ontario.
All right.
Yesterday at work, I tried going back to work. It wasn't entirely unsuccessful. So none of these are Peugeots because did it share that tab or no? I don't think.
Before the top, the top one's a bit.
Peugeots? Did you see a bunch of Porsche coupes?
Literally on my phone, dude. I can't see a fucking thing.
Fuck all. Okay, that's fine. Just talk. All right. Well, anyway, it's a nice looking car. I don't know about WAP car. That sounds like it could be dangerous.
It is like shit off a shovel. I will, when we're charged, I'll show Commander what he can do.
I like this car. I need a little car to boot around in, you know. But
yeah, it does me. It gets me about.
Yeah, and you're mobility challenged more than maybe the average person, even more than I am. So, if it gets you in, if you get in and out of it, all right, that's a pretty good sales.
Yeah, I can pack my wheelchair in the back and I can hold on to the the roof rails and hobble back to the driving seat. It's no problem.
Gotcha. Okay.
And vice
And
versa.
are you all hand controls on that then, dog, or
No,
no?
no.
Because you have enough use of your legs to
On
operate.
my right leg. I can use my right leg. I haven't got much feeling in it. Well, I've got pins and needly feeling. My left leg is basically
Left
got a
leg's
will of its
stuck.
own. It's dead,
Yeah.
most of it.
Yeah. Mine feels dead, but it's not as bad of a problem as yours. But I was noticing it last night when I got home. I could feel it from doing a day's work.
That sounds like circulation, mate.
It's not. I've had it checked. I have what it is I have a nerve problem in the back of my back. So
All
the
right.
bottom 3 discs have all, like, basically all the cartilage is just gone, and so they've just packed into each other, and then there's a twist, and that twist is basically what they show is like what they showed me was like on me MRI. It's got like my back's kind of kinked like this, and the wire should go straight through and move up and down, but because it's kinked like this, it gets bent and it won't move, and that causes my nerves to tell my brain that my left leg is dead. So I get a combination of pins and needles and sharp pains, especially after laying flat all night. It seems to make the biggest difference when I do that. And then I move around at work all day, and then I get in my own vehicle and drive home, and I put the seat warmer on when I remember. I do better because it warms my back up and it seems to help move things around. But when I get out of my truck at home after a 12-hour day at work plus the commute to and from, so I've been out on the road at that point for probably a good 14 to 14 and a half hours, maybe 15, of basically just a combination of driving and working and walking around trucks all day, and I end up just feeling like I can't do anything but sit down. So it's kind of rough. I've joked around about how I've lost height over the years, but I actually was looking at one of my x-rays, and you can see those bottom 3 discs have lost, like, I don't know how much of a cushion there is, but they've lost a few millimeters out of each one for sure. So I don't think it's all a joke.
That's a fact. You do lose height as you get older.
As you get older, yeah. Like I think I was about an inch and a half shorter than I was when I left high school.
You get shorter and wider. That's what I've found.
Yeah, well, I was wide the whole damn time, but I've also got this giant fuel tank up front I'm trying to deal with. But this is, I mean, I got my wife and I were talking about this on the weekend. We went out for a drive to do some errands, which is kind of the closest thing we get to a date these days. And we were having a chat about stuff, and I won't talk about everything we talked about because some of it's private, but we talked about how my health, which I do, I'm a public advocate for my state as a patient, right? So I'll stop sharing this because we don't need to stare at tiny pictures of your car the whole time. But my wife's like, well, the bariatric surgery, does it even make sense to do right now when your lung's not healed? And they're saying that I have the collapse in my one lung is still there, and it's hard to say. Well, it sounds like you're in trouble there, dog.
No, just a passing police car or ambulance or something, one of the two.
Yeah, they're on their way somewhere.
We're just sitting plugged in, with 28 minutes remaining.
And Commander, you had a good flight over?
Yeah, it was, how you put it, I'm probably going to pay for an upgrade when I get back.
Oh, like to make the trip over the other way?
Yeah. Because
that's fair.
Bad knees.
Yeah.
Well, that's, it's rough. Well, you're a trucker too. So, and dog, you were a trucker.
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah. But so we're all 3 of us truckers, so we all know what it's like to have the clutch leg wear out, eh?
Well, that's right. And there was that. I used to drive the trucks when you had to press the clutch in twice just to change the gear.
My truck is a double clutch, but I float it, is what we call it. Like I float, and I have to clarify, I float equipment as my living, but I also float the gears, which is a separate technique. But European trucks, you can't float, from what I understand.
No.
And I don't know. I know Commander's been to Eastern Europe too, right? Where they have a combination, I think.
Well, I didn't drive vehicles in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, so you never saw the inside of a commercial vehicle there.
Yep.
We have Eastern Europeans at my yard that have, like, they've told me about what it's like, and they're like, it's like a weird thing, and they're like, it's even worse. Like, nobody wants to drive a standard in Europe because it's so hard to drive because you can't float the gear. So they love it here because you can float. Like, you can float in Eaton, but Eatons are sold around the world, so I don't know how it works.
Well, the last truck I drove it was automatic.
Yeah, I've only ever driven an empty one, and I say this in half jokingly, but I don't actually know how to safely drive an automatic with a load. So I'm glad to have an 18 speed, and I'm glad that the new trucks that my company bought are all 18 speeds. So if I ever get high enough up in the company to be given one of those newer trucks, I'm glad they didn't go automatic personally. But
we were talking about this while we were looking for a EV charger. Do you have limits over there? Limiters on your trucks?
In Canada, we do. Yeah, it's provincial though, so some provinces have different speed limits. So in the eastern provinces, New Brunswick and Nova Scotia for sure, you can go 110 in a commercial vehicle, and here it's 105. And so
kilometers an hour.
Yeah, kilometers an hour because
what's that in real money? What's that in real money?
Well, let's see. So 100 kilometers an hour is 62 miles an hour exactly. So if you add another 10 to that, so add another 6. So we're probably talking
65.
about 70 miles an hour. Let's say 70 miles an hour and 110, I think are said to be very similar.
Trucks here are limited to 56 miles an hour.
56, yeah, that's really slow. Like so they had to redo a bunch of shit on my truck just before I went back to work. Before I got off work with my lung problem. They had me do a thing. What the fuck did they do? You know what? I'm just really bad at life.
Well, I think here, because the roads are always, especially around London where we are now, the roads are just chocker all the time. There's people are angry when they're driving.
Yeah. Big cities are always like that, right? People are very impatient, and a combination of aggression, impatience, and just gridlock, right? Like, it's just not good, and it causes issues. So,
but we're
a big city driving.
Where we're going, Norfolk, it's beautiful. There's no traffic. You get a bit if there's an accident and stuff, but
you just cruise down the highway.
Yeah, well, around me, there's grass growing in the middle of the road, tiny country lanes. So,
yeah. So I'm looking up where this is.
The Commander will experience that soon.
Yeah, Commander's going to find out all about it. Have you? Okay, here it is. Norfolk. It is here. I'm going to bring it in. There's Norwich.
If you look at the, if you look at the UK as a sitting person, Norfolk's in the arse, basically where the arsehole should be.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting this up. Well, I put the wrong fucking thing up though, didn't I? Stop sharing this one. I'm trying to show this one. Here we go. This is the one I want to share. Okay, so I'm gonna go present, share screen, present. Okay, here we go. It's a Bing map. There we go. Okay, so that's where Norfolk is in the thing. I don't know what you're.
Yeah, that's basically a little bit down is where I live. A little bit down from that red dot.
From where this Norfolk pin is. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I live
So
in
I
where
live.
that pin is where I got this car from.
Oh,
The
okay.
dealer's there.
So up in Norfolk. So I'm going to show everybody the whole world. So Commander came from somewhere around here. Like
New York.
Well, let's say New York State. Here we go. Like I don't know if they flew out of like New Jersey, New York, whatever, but they flew and they
New
would have
York,
flown
wasn't
up
it?
this way.
JFK.
Oh,
JFK.
JFK,
So
yeah.
that is New York. So New York City's down here, and then you just go brrr, like this. Sometimes you end up going right around Iceland, I think. I know when so Toronto is the city I grew up in, which is this one here. And then like New York City's here. So my sister used to live in New York, and I drove from I live in this part. This is southwestern Ontario here. This whole area here. And I'll just show you this is the London we have over here.
How many people live there?
In London, I don't know, a couple 100,000 maybe. It's
8
not
million
a
live in
huge
our
city. It's a
London.
pretty big center though. So yesterday I was working around here, and then I drove down to almost to Detroit. I was basically right here, and then I drove all the way back to our yard, which is around here. I'm not going to dox myself by showing the exact place, but this whole, I'm just going to say this is the area I work in. If you can see my cursor moving around, is all
No, my
area here.
phone's
So
on the.
Southern Ontario, which is this. Yeah, so you can't see it. You can't see it, but anybody that watches it later will see. This is the part of Ontario, so it's right next to New York.
Commander can see it.
Right?
Commander can see it.
Yeah. So
I
I
can
know
see it now.
Commander's moved down somewhere on the East Coast, like these states that are on one of these states that are down here is where they moved to. But sometimes I have to cross the country, and so people talk about how big Ontario is. So Ontario starts here, almost at Vermont, not quite. It's another maybe hour's drive into Quebec before you could just drop into Vermont. But most of New York, this little piece of Pennsylvania that sticks up, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Minnesota goes a little further than our border here. But when you leave this region and drive all the way up, I've delivered cranes and stuff up here. It takes a week to drive there and back legally as a commercial heavy haul driver, because it takes 2.5 days to get there and 2.5 days to get back.
Well, that's funny enough. What was it, about an hour ago we were talking about this? That what population would be a local market town, say, in your area? A market town, not a city, a tiny town.
The tiny towns that I live close to, like I don't even live in a village. I live in a hamlet where there's no businesses there that aren't. There's people that own businesses that they park their vehicles there and drive out to do work. Like there's a landscaping guy, and there's two landscaping companies, and there's a guy that does car parts and shit, but nobody, it's not like a village where you can go buy stuff. So the towns that I go to shop in, one of them has a population of probably about 2,500 people, and the other one, I don't even know if it still says, because they switched to the idea that our whole region or the township took over. So I don't think what used to be the little village, which has turned into a town, that town is 6,000 or 6,500 people, but they haven't added a lot of housing recently. So I think it's probably still in that neighborhood, because the biggest housing development they've added maybe 10 units. So figure 4 people, maybe 40 more people could have moved into the town since they last had a sign up about that.
See, my local market town, which is classed as tiny, it's a little market town, has over 20,000 in, and my village has over 3,000 in, and
oh, okay,
probably a village where you live probably has 300 people.
Similar to what we have near us.
What you're calling a village is a small city.
Yeah, we call it, what you call a village, I'm calling a town, but it's it all gets into it all gets into like all the what do you call it? You're messing about with semantics a little bit, but also like it's good to be on the same page. But I think there are definitionally in certain regions they'll say, okay, like a town has X number of people, and then once you get one person more than that, you become a city or a whatever. But yeah, and what I love about looking at the map of England here is like all the places that exist in England that exist, like the exact same names have been used in our province and in our area. So these are all towns that exist in Toronto, or Toronto is not an English name. It's based on a mispronunciation of an indigenous name. But I was just gonna say, we have like so we have London, of course, but we also have Ipswich, Cambridge, Bedford, Peterborough. There's another one. I saw Scarborough, which is close to where I live. Hull, we have that town. Hull's actually in Quebec, but just by Ottawa. Bradford, we have Bolton. We have
they're north of England counties.
Yeah. I'm looking at these ones. Blackpool. I know we have a Blackpool somewhere.
Yeah, that's just north of Liverpool.
Upon Tyne. I have a friend that went to university there for a year or two as like an exchange. Carlisle, we have. That's not Carlisle. I drove by Carlisle yesterday.
Ipswich is literally the sister city to Norwich, Norfolk. Because you've got Norfolk and Suffolk, which are next to each other, and they're both their cities, Ipswich and Norwich.
Yeah, we have Exeter. Exeter's a good sized town up that way, up where north of where I went, north of London in Ontario. Oxford is the county that London's in. Gloucester is near Ottawa. I can't remember if we have a Bristol there. There's definitely Cardiff is in Wales. I have an uncle from Wales. Bangor is in Maine.
We're literally on the outskirts of Oxford now.
Oxford. Okay. So did you go to London to find an airport? Or a different one?
Heathrow
Airport, that's outside, that's by London, but outside on the outskirts, right?
It's a shithole. I was trying not to get monkeypox because there was all signs everywhere. Mpox is coming from Africa all over the place, spreading like wildflower.
There we go. Okay, I'm looking at where it is. Okay, so it's at the wrong side of London too, right?
It's on the west side.
And there's the M25. You told me the M25 was going to come into play.
Yeah,
and that's how you get around.
We just had to come off the M25.
Yeah,
and head towards Oxford to a place called Boreham Wood to charge a car because we couldn't find one around Heathrow.
So I've been to the Heathrow airport twice. I flew in and out, but I never I got off the plane, bought magazines and a drink, and went right back on because it was on my way to France. And so I've set foot on the ground there, so to speak, but not really because I never left the building because we had to stay in a secure area or whatever. But that was before 9/11, so it was a little bit more casual.
I haven't set foot in Heathrow for about almost 18 years, let's say, and the place is a shithole. They haven't even give it a coat of paint or nothing. It's just fucking people everywhere spreading their fucking monkeypox or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we didn't stick around then.
Well, hopefully there's a place to get a coffee or something, right?
Yeah, I had a coffee and a sandwich while I was waiting. I got there a little early because as I was getting up, I put the radio on as I normally do, and it said, on the M25, there's a lorry broken down and the tailbacks. And that's anti-clockwise. We're going clockwise back now.
Okay, so it's better now.
There was a little tailback, but it wasn't that bad. So I got there about 9:30. I had to wait a couple of hours.
Very good. So hopefully things are good then. It'll be a nice drive back without The timing
Yeah,
there.
once
So are you 5 hours? No, you're 4 hours ahead of us, right?
no 5, unless your clocks have gone back.
Yeah,
Unless
our
your
clocks
clocks
went.
have
Yeah,
gone
that's
back.
right. Our clocks went back again. Okay, so 5 hours. So it's now
Yeah,
like 3 in the afternoon ish, almost 3.
yeah,
Yep.
5 to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get off the M2, we got some road work to hit. That might be a bit troublesome, but I want to hit them before rush hour,
Yeah,
which is little after from 5 onwards,
our main
because that'll be
highway
a
in
nightmare.
Detroit was like there was five areas of lane reductions and speed reductions on my trip yesterday in each direction, and it's not bad this time of year. But what I worry about, that whole area there gets a lot of snow in the wintertime.
Hmm.
We've made it right into November without hitting any major snow. I think we've had a few snowflakes fall here and there, but nothing to sit on the ground, which is a little bit odd, but it does, we've had frost and stuff, so it's been frozen enough to do it. But what happens in the wintertime is that you hit those areas and people don't see them and they have pileups, and it's just brutal.
It's quite warm here. It's 14 degrees
It
outside.
was warm yesterday. It was over 20 degrees when I was down in the Windsor area yesterday.
Mm.
But I had a jacket on in the morning when I was getting the truck ready. I think it was maybe only 3 or 4, but then it shot up really quick. So I needed a jacket for like the first, like just a really light jacket, like a windbreaker jacket I had on to get started.
But
And it rained. It rained at my first trip. My first drop off was fine. I did it like just in my turnout shirt, and then I had to put my jacket on when I picked the next one up because it started raining. So I did that one in the rain. My gloves were still soaking wet. There wasn't enough heat I didn't have to run any heat in the cab, so my gloves didn't dry out.
yeah,
So
well,
yeah,
here it's scary, this weather. I don't like it when it's warm this time of year. There's normally a chill.
it's off-putting. It's off-putting to have it change up like that, right?
Well,
So
according to the commander here, it's warmer than New York.
Oh yeah. It's
that
like,
doesn't surprise me.
and where I lived in New York, it was over 1,000 feet above sea level. So it was actually where I was living was colder than it was in the city.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I don't know the math off the top of my head, but where I live is quite elevated from Toronto, like down by the lake. They have like it's really moderated. Toronto like gets this this really sort of mild thing going on, which is actually really good. I think Shenanigans McGee just entered the chat.
Ugh.
So it's good.
I can't see.
Good to see you. It's Jester, formerly the Lord of Fools, formerly the Lord of Shenaniganery, and now Shenanigans McGee. Definitely not the band Jester. Jester, what kind of shenanigans and shenaniganery did you get into to get to the point where you were banned or mistaken for banned? Because there is also like there's Jasper. I often, if I read Jasper quick, I'm like, is that Jester? And no, it's not. It's Jasper. But there's another person with a Jester type name that's not you that I see here and there. But it's a funny thing, and people have the same ideas about what they want for name. Like we all know Spooky Bedhair, but there's also there's a Spooky who's just spooky, but they used like a font in their name or something, which I rarely see, but every once in a while I'll see someone that they've applied a font to their actual name, the way they've written it out, which I'm assuming is done with some sort of emoji thing. But
No,
I
it's a Google account. You just use their fonts.
Oh, okay. Are you telling me like I could identify myself even more greatly than I already do?
Yeah, why not?
No, I guess there is no reason. Jester
Well,
dared to say that Kafifi wasn't all Kofefe wasn't all that in front of Sue. Oh, did Sumami ban you, Shenanigans McGee there? Sumami is a wonderful person who I greatly enjoy their they're chattery, but you're not that guy allegedly. Sumami is not someone you want to cross because she doesn't have any tolerance for anything. If it's against her way of thinking, and I appreciate the fact that she stands firm on her opinions. She jested about doing so. Well, there you go. And then you ended up. She jested about doing so, and then in a very reasonable reaction, you changed your name. I've never changed my name other than making my L a capital L so that people would stop calling me AI Trucker. Because I often, especially if I'm like listening to a show at night and I go look at my phone and I see somebody talk about AI, I have to do a double and triple take to make sure they're not trying to talk to me. And I usually catch it if I'm awake and alert and looking at a screen. I catch what's being said, but you got to pay attention. So Shenanigans McGee does not want to make any comments about Sumami. Well, Sumami's not here. She may watch later, and hopefully she appreciates the fact that my respect for her is deep, and my respect for her firm hold on things is deep as well. It's good to see you, Jester. I don't know if you're still there because the numbers are going up and down, but it's great to see people. I decided to just do a little stream because, I just wanted to, update people on where I'm at. I'm trying to recover from the disease. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying it out, So I think they're going to put me back to work tomorrow, do another test day. But I am very, very sore. And I was going to talk about a couple of things that I find interesting. You're staying but working. That's fine. That's fine, Jester. You work away. I know Jester's told me what they do for a living, and I've forgotten again. But we're all truckers in here, so we're just talking trucks. Jester, did I share with you my new semi truck related song in that I put myself on as the Flurf record. Have I shared that? Do you guys want to hear my new anti-Flurf song? Just say something if you want me to share it.
Yeah, go on, play it.
All right, I'm gonna find it and I'll share it. Okay, so let's see. I get here and then go to history because I played it. I listened to it myself recently, so it should be in here, right? There's a flat Earth thing. I listened to a lot of shit yesterday. Here it is. All right, it's here. Okay, here we go. We'll get it right to the beginning and share this tab instead. Did it come up? Although I'm not sharing a tab though, right? Remove this. Is this it? Okay, yeah, this is going to be it here. Okay, I'm going to go play it then. I wish there was a way to play it from the screen that you're on. The truck part is the photography that's going on. These are AI images I made.
There comes the flow record. I'm a satirical gangster. Pick up horizon in the sexton. Still the earth ain't flat. No, we don't lie. Yes, we recite pi. Any or less will hear the globe as it's been. Act like you're a pole, count on your toes. Suck and blow vacuums you don't know. See the truth and go, no, horizon. Here comes the fluff record. I'm the satirical gangster. Excuse me, Dr. Joe Ho. Fear the light shows curve and no flat. Fluffs are ornery, loose cells like a dingleberry. Curve and turn, baby, that's how we got time. Drift is 15, baby, 50 degrees, baby. Thanks, Bob. R.I.P. Check zenith with me, see curve all of the time. Here comes the fluff record. I'm a satirical gangster. Bringing evidence thunder. See it still ain't fucking flat. Na 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 na. Horizon screws you on that. Na 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 na. far you see to the stars. Every night you just misunderstand Jack. Truckin' fluff daddy, man, hack daddy. He's just wrong about the whole effing thing. Ain't no fluff gon' show me. Flat evidence, man. Fluff record. I'm the Sacramento gangster. Fluff, fluff. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, man, that's how it is. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Right. Pick up horizon in a sextant. Still the earth ain't flat. No, we don't lie. Yes, we recite by any and less will hear the globe as it spins. Act like you're a pole, count on your toes. Suck and blow vacuums you don't know. See the truth and go, no, ho, 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 horizon. Here comes the fluff record. I'm the satirical gangster. Excuse me, Dr. Joe Ho Ho. Fear the light shows curve and no flat. Murderer. Curves are ornery, loose cells like a dingleberry. Curve and turn, baby, that's how we got time. Drift is 15, baby, 50 degrees, baby. Thanks, Bob. R.I.P. Check zenith with me, see curve all of the time. Here comes the fluff record. I'm the satirical gangster. Bringing evidence thunder. See it still ain't fucking flat.
All right, I'll stop her there. I don't know. What do people think? Was that any good? Should I do more
Yeah,
of this?
sounded good.
Yeah. I've been writing a lot of these songs and turning them into little ditties with my Sino or Suno. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, I bought probably a bad use of funds, but I spent 15 Canadian dollars to buy an account for a month, and I'm enjoying it. I have less than no money right now because I haven't been working, so I'm hoping like this test week here will show that everything's all right and I can get back at it. And I definitely make more money trucking than I do on Pogie, so I want to get off of that. So we'll see how it goes. It's been a hell of a fucking trip, though, I tell you. Anyway, we'll try it out, see what happens. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. Okay, can I remove this? So yeah, so that's where I'm at this week. I'm trying it out. I'm sore. I'm tired. Oh, we had an issue. Oh, I lost you. I lost Dog. All right. Well, I don't know what happened to Dog and Commander, but hopefully they are having a great day and they'll have a lovely trip back to the Norfolk area. Oh, there he's back. Did I consider finishing out the stubs? The stubs? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Dog's back. Dog, did you mean to be showing the you're showing the inside of your car? Was that your plan?
No.
Okay. I think you turned your camera on. There you go. Did I can finish the stubs I sent? Okay. Now I gotta look at something here. Okay. Oh, Slim posted what he's gonna be doing. And Commander posted integrated circuit chip walking to staying alive. Oh, cool. I actually did a
Commander's asleep right now.
Commander's asleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lag's just it, I think.
Yeah, well, I can't blame them, eh?
Nope.
Did you send it to me in Tractor Corn? I'd like to reiterate it's for us to just make a damn Hoven AI debate bot. Is that it? What did you send me? Jester, are we buddies on this thing? I'm adding you as a friend. I hope. I love your you must have that nitro thing because you have a ghost ship. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, so I sent you. Hear me out on this. Okay. Okay. Is this the thing about eggnog and Bailey's? We wish you a fucked up election. Oh, this one. We wish you a fucked up election day. We wish you a fucked up election day. What Bailey's would bring to egg up your nog. We wish you a fucked up election day and a gay 4 years. Okay, is this it? Jester, please tell me if that's the right thing. I did not realize you wanted me to make that into a song, but you want me to like take that and make it into something? I could do that. I could do that. There's something fucked up in my brain where I hear something and I make connections to other shit. And the connections I make don't always make sense to people. Like my wife, for instance, is like, you're way too fucking, what does she call me? Obscure. Obscure. As Starfire says in the Teen Titans Go movie, challenges of the unknown. Now that is the obscure. And it is pretty obscure. I mean, who knows about challenges of the unknown? I literally learned about challenges of the unknown from Teen Titans Go. Some people think Teen Titans is obscure. I don't think it's that obscure, though. Does everybody know Teen Titans?
No,
The Titans?
I think it's too obscure for me.
DC Comics. Dog, I don't know if it'd be up your alley or not, but check out, like, go put in that ADHD brain. Okay. Well, I'm not officially diagnosed with ADHD. Speaking from experience. Well, I tell you what, I probably do have ADHD. I was diagnosed by a doctor. Unfortunately, that doctor is Dr. Tapioca Weasel, who is not that kind of doctor. And I told everyone that we need to find a bunch of pictures of like moles and weird growths and stuff, and like send them to Dr. Tap en masse, and claim that they're growing on our scrotums, and ask them for help figuring out what they are. Yes, thank you, PC. Good to see you. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe. Hello, PC or Helions. I guess that's a good. Is that a subatomic particle or the type of person that lives in Hollywood? Yes, PC. Good to see you. I haven't watched Chris today. I watched Chris last night. I watched Chris yesterday morning, or I was listening in. While I was driving, I was listening to Chris for quite a bit yesterday, and I hate going up against Chris because I know like a lot of people that watch him would maybe watch me, but Chris has got a better show. He's talking about stuff. He's got like a plan. Chris has a plan. He's a professional entertainer, and Al Trucker is a professional trucker, and so you get what you get. Helion for the sun, yes. Are we like helical folks here? Yeah. So I do recommend that people listen to all of my songs because my songs are, in my own humble opinion, just fucking funny as shit. But yeah, maybe my references are a bit obscure. But I think like the flat Earth ones, flat Earth people get. I sent some of them to MC Toon. He laughed at them, maybe just being polite, which is fine. But yeah, I share them with flat Earth people, right? Yeah, you like this Shenanigans McGee? Shenanigans McGee, I love it. One day we have to do a deep dive into Bodie McBoatface and how Bodie McBoatface didn't get named Bodie McBoatface, even though it was democratically decided that the ship would be called Bodie McBoatface. So I'm gonna wrap up my show fairly quickly because I promised myself that I would get some actual shit done today. But doing this is my therapy. This is how I interact with the world, and I've been missing the interactions I have with certain people. I know this will still happen even though I'm working on getting back to work. But I'm gonna do a collaboration with DC from Say Hello to DC, who we've all seen around here, and I don't know if all of you have seen her show. Dog, her show is usually on at like what is our night, and she's in the same time zone as Slim, so she's doing her shows like at 8 or 9 at night, her time or my time, depending. So I'm watching her as I'm going to bed oftentimes, and I'm assuming you're like sawing logs at that time there, dog. But she does.
No, you'll be on Slim's show later, won't you?
I'll try to slip by Slim. The reason I haven't been on Slim's a lot recently is that my family's home, and Slim's show is not family appropriate, and I never have anything family appropriate to say when I'm there.
It definitely is family appropriate, right?
I mean, it's appropriate for your family if your kids are over 20, but it's not family appropriate when your kids are teenagers like mine. and they're young teenagers as it happens. So yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want to say some of the things that I would say or that would be said on the show are not things that I would repeat in front of my children. Despite I don't mind saying fuck in front of my children, but there's certain things you just keep to yourself, or that are for adult entertainment. And I think like that's an important distinction. And I this is something. So I wrote another song actually, and this is something that I think is important. And I think I actually heard Chris talk about this yesterday. It had me thinking about it. So and actually PC, I don't know if you're still there at PC. I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna send you the song I wrote. I haven't done a video for it, but I wrote a song. I'll send it to PC for her take on it. Because I want to get a couple of female opinions on it. But I wrote a song that's basically pointing out about like how hard the right wants to take away the rights and responsibility of democratic citizens in how they want to oppress women. And I heard Chris talking about that a lot on the damn show yesterday. Because it seems to be like something they're fixated on. And a few days ago I wrote this song, and I actually used the sort of beat of Staying Alive as It Happens, which Commander they posted a circuit board where they have the dancing chip that runs on it to Staying Alive.
Yeah, I saw it.
Kind of reminded me of that. I'm gonna have to watch it. I just saw it was there. I didn't actually watch it. But they put that on there, and it's fun. I've seen similar things. I just don't think I've seen that one. And I don't know if they made the chip themselves or it's just a funny video they encountered.
I found it.
You found it? Okay. Cool. So yeah, Dog said you were asleep. I'm probably keeping you awake.
No, they just woke up.
Okay. And it's Dog's fault. Dog could be quiet if you wanted to.
Well, we're at 99% at the moment, and
yeah, you're getting ready to run.
I'd have to woke them up anyway for to put the seatbelt on.
What do you have to put the seatbelt on?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a requirement to ride in a car safe without getting ticketed, no matter what continent you're on.
Oh, okay. Like our you have to wear a seatbelt in Canada. There's no the only time you can take it off is when you're backing up, which I often do because I need extra visibility, and because especially with an oversized load, like getting my head out of the window to look at things when I'm backing up is like, because I can see a hell of a lot more than the mirror can show me at certain angles, and I have like loads that are over 12 feet wide behind me, so I need that. And that's why that law is there. Like a lot of people backing up a car don't need to take their seatbelt off. Although some people backing up a car should go practice backing up a car, in my personal opinion. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, legally you have to wear a seatbelt here. But is your car force you to wear it to move? Is what a question.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
It just fucking beeps out of control. It gets so fucking annoying. Anything it does is annoying.
Well, mine will beep.
Apart from,
but you can not wear it if you want to not wear it.
Apart from give you a notification when the speed camera's coming up. I've turned it off at the moment because the M25 they're on every fucking lamppost.
Yes, you just drive basically close to the speed limit. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what the...
No, you can't go between because they have a thing called variable speed limits where it'll measure if you speed it up in between the next marker.
Yeah.
And you'll get done. For a friend of mine, his son passed not so long ago, came along the M25 on his first day out in his new car, was banned by the time he got home.
Really?
Well, he was banned by the time all the speeds, because you get points on your license as well, and he went over the points, yeah.
Well, that's fucking wild. Well, I've got to come there, rent a car, and try driving on the other side of the road just to see if I can do it. Actually, what I really want to do is...
Commander's being okay with it.
What's that?
Commander's being okay with it.
I think I could do it. I'd have to pay close attention and remember where I am because, old habits die hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. Are you driving now?
No.
It's like I I get the. We've got 2 minutes to go for the charge. I get the odd tug because I drive near the line, near the middle line,
Yeah.
and that's because I'm just used to driving a wide vehicle.
Yeah.
So my line of driving, and they say, "Oh, you've been drinking. You're driving a bit close to." I just tell them, "It's to drive trucks."
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
I'm
I've
just.
been through this so many. I've never been pulled over for it, but my wife's car has the lane keeping thing.
Oh, mine's got that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
it's
out
a
on the
pain in the
highway, and
arse.
I'm like, I'm hugging the thing the way I need to, right? And when I'm oversized, I hug it in a different way, but I adjust my driving accordingly. And I line myself up so that I have like a few inches, and I try to keep the tracks of whatever I'm moving as far away from traffic as I can, unless there's Jersey barriers, in which case I give myself an extra 2-3 inches.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it. Don't forget, most of us drive safe, drive speed limit, and do all that. There's always
Yeah.
that one fucking prick.
Those are
There's always that.
always the problems. Like yesterday morning when I was hauling out, it was still dark out, and there's some asshole with his fucking high beams on behind me. I'm in the right lane, and my speed limiter got fucked up when they fixed my truck. They fucked it up. I don't know if I'm going to complain about it or not, because I usually can't get up to the speed limit for very long anyway. But it's got me pegged at 102 instead of 105. So I was going to ask them to turn it back up if they can, get me all the way to 105 when I'm cruising back empty. But I mean, what's the difference? I mean, if I'm crossing the whole province, I get back like 15 minutes earlier if there's no traffic. Like, that's the thing, right?
Well, the place where I used to work before the current place, they had the trucks moderated at is 68, just to give us like 3 miles per hour above what they wanted our maximum to be, just so that we could pull ahead of dawdling vehicles.
This is the thing that really bugs me. You're never going to see me doing 75 miles an hour with a 50-ton machine on. First of all, I'll probably never get up to that speed unless I'm on a flat. But when somebody's got something, or when I come out empty and all I've got is the empty wagon, or I've got an empty float on, I'd love to be able to just, wheel back to the yard. And then when I come behind somebody who's loaded and going up a hill, if they give me the extra little bit, give me to 110, like 110 instead of 105, just so I can pass somebody efficiently and not have traffic backed up. That's the damn problem, right? But yesterday, where I was tagged, I got passed by everyone except like a loaded tanker. I think I passed like 3 loaded tankers yesterday, and that was it.
On the way to Heathrow, I actually got stuck by a fucking lorry carrying a crane. I thought of you.
Yeah, that's what I do. I drive those lorries. See, what I would love to do is drive a lorry on every continent as like a life goal. I don't know if I could, but I'd love to do it.
I think road signs are pretty self-explanatory, aren't they? I think it's just the UK and Australia where you would
in Japan
you would struggle.
Japan
and Hong Kong.
Does China drive to the left or the right? I think they drive to the right in China, right?
No, Hong Kong is the left.
Hong Kong's the left, but that's because of the Brits?
Yeah.
See,
the lease was up in 99.
Am I wrong about that?
No, we handed 1999. We handed China back to.
No, I remember
China.
that. Did they switch Hong Kong back, or I don't fucking know.
No, because the infrastructure was, they'd have to rebuild everything.
Well, maybe. Sweden switched overnight from driving to the left to driving to the right.
I don't know how many countries drive on the right.
It's quite a few, but
drive on the left. I mean,
all of Western Europe, all of North America, and the only place we drive to the left is to
France and Spain, and France and Spain and stuff is all
drive to the right. Yeah, Italy, and I think like Sweden, Finland.
No, they're all right drive as well. I think it's
And-
only England in Europe, or the Europe, as Slim would say.
of whatever is the Europes, yeah, whatever Slim would say. Yeah,
Right.
so all of the UK, like United Kingdom and Ireland, all drive to the left. And then I'm assuming like Isle of, like all the weird little islands and stuff, like Isle of Man, Isle of Wight, like are they separate countries or are they part of something?
No, they're
No, all part of the UK.
Yeah, so they all drive to the left. And
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand drive to the left. And Japan drives to the left. I don't know about like South America, I think they all drive to the right.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. And in Africa they have a combination, right?
In some countries in Africa, South Africa, yeah.
Yeah, South Africa drives to the left. And I'm looking at my globe here. And there's countries here that have different names now, but because this is a really old one. Yeah, I don't even recognize some of these countries. But yeah, like I always thought that mainland China drove to the right. Russia drives to the right, I think. Like the former Soviet Union. And I think like and Saudi, the Arabian Peninsula and stuff, I think that's all drives to the right, I believe. All right. Joe gives up. Joe, do you want to tell us what life is bringing you before I wrap the show up? You don't have to come on the panel, but like I don't know what the fuck's going on, Joe, but we want to help you. And it sounds like something like Dave, Captive Death Dave, was having this issue too, where their comments wouldn't show up. And like I haven't done anything to you as far as I can tell. Let me go back to my stream. There's the damn show from L Trucker. This is my show. Close that. Do I sound that bad? Really? Holy shit. It's not me, it's everywhere. So I was just gonna like click on you, make sure you're not in timeout or anything like that. No, you're good. You're totally good here, Joe. I was just checking to make sure I didn't have any weird settings on you, right? There we go. All right, let's go back to, here we go. There it is. We're good, right? Okay. I lost Dog again. But Dog probably had to go unplug their thing, right? YouTube is less than useful. Yeah. You know what? YouTube's a little fucked, right? So Dog, I wish you well. I hope your trip is good. I know I talk a lot, so you might not have a chance to say, hey, I gotta go unplug my car and start driving. But yeah, we were having a great chat about what side of the road people drive on. I'll tell you, like I looked it up and I was told this makes sense to me. And so two interesting things come out of this. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again because I think it's super fucking interesting. In North America, when they first came here and they were hauling stuff, they would have teams of horses or oxen or whatever. Here's Commander 401.
See, there's coming.
Commander coming. No, that didn't work. I was assuming that was Commander because it came up as C401. But you never know. Someone might be playing games with me here. But I mean, if Commander and Dog make it back, I'll put them back on for a chat. But so when they had a team of horses or oxen, instead of sitting in the buggy with like whips and reins and stuff, they had the reins, but they would control a team of beasts of burden hauling a large cargo load. The person who would look after it was called the Teamster. And the Teamster would look after the team of whatever beast of burden. So often horses, oxen, other animals would be used to haul loads. And the person that did that was called a Teamster. And it was easier for them to do because they sat to the left of the rearmost leftmost beast, whatever that was. So say a horse. So if they had 6 horses, the one that would be at the lower end, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, they'd sit on this one and control all 6. And it was easier for them if traffic was passing to the side they were on. And so they came up with this decision that they would do that. And so the two interesting things were that in North America, handling your vehicle to the right of the road came from that. So that became the convention. After a lot of years of doing that, it became the way it was done. And when cars came along, they followed the same rule. And so they would put the steering wheels to the left. Some vehicles, I've driven vehicles that are center driven, which is really weird until you get used to it. And I've driven vehicles with the controls on the left and the controls on the right. It's a weird thing. Boats, interestingly, I find all have their controls to the right or the center. I've never seen a boat that's controlled from the left. Ships tend to be center controlled, I believe, like big ships. And that sort of makes sense. And I have not driven a right-hand drive vehicle on big roads other than to load them and unload them. But I would love to try this. I'd love to test my skills as a driver. Because I'm a pretty decent driver. I don't think I'm the best driver ever, but I think I have some skill and aptitude with it. And I understand how vehicles work quite well. It's just something I'm good at. It's something I enjoy doing. I also enjoy that it's fun to do, to get up and down the road and stuff. I like doing it, and I kind of hoping they'll find a run to I don't know, the Sioux or Thunder Bay or something. I can do that because I'd like to just get out and go for a run. Actually, the way the time of year is getting, I wouldn't mind if they sent me to Arizona and back or something like that. Which happens every once in a while. Although one of the guys there likes to do that shit, which I enjoy. Anyway, I'm gonna thank everybody for coming by, and if you ate today, thank a farmer and thank a teamster, a trucker. We're out there doing what we can, and it was fun to have a few truckers on the show today. There's some great trucking songs. I have a new song that I wrote. It's an old song. I wrote it a couple of years ago when I started, as almost probably 3.5 years ago, 3 years ago at least. I wrote this song, and I've put it into the system, and I haven't shared it too widely yet. But I'm thinking of doing it. It might need some work, but I like it. It's a little bit. It wouldn't be like a serious song really, but it's not to be taken super seriously. But I wrote a song about what heavy haul trucking is all about when I first started doing it as a career. And I may adapt it a little bit. I may change it a little bit as I've come to some stuff. But I recorded it on the app, and I kind of like the result. So what I've been having trouble doing though is come up with those truck images. When I said come up with a gangster rapper's semi truck, I came up with some good images. But when I ask it to make a heavy haul truck and use my truck as a model, it fucks it up every fucking way. I haven't been able to get a good set of images together, so I'll start working on that. Hopefully people will enjoy it. I hope people enjoyed my Flurfrecker song that I shared today. And I'm really enjoying having some creative time. There's one good thing about having a broken lung is that it's had me off long enough to do some creative stuff, and it's given me a really good chance to do my fellowship work. Right, that's been really good. I greatly enjoy being able to share my experiences, and I was working on this Gangnam. Yeah, BMZ. I don't know about that. Optimus Prime. Yeah, not exactly BMZ. But if you go check my my selection of stuff, you'll find that it's in there under Flurfrecker. It might make me the dwarf, BMZ. I am big, short, and bearded. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I certainly wouldn't be. I might be somewhere between a dwarf and Buddy with the darker beard. But I'm pretty close to the dwarf. I'm definitely not the I'm not the willowy guy with the light hair. And I'm not Liv Tyler. So I'm either that or an orc, I guess. I'm really not sure. I'm not the most beautiful guy out there. Anyway, I'm gonna avoid taking myself on too many tangents. And welcome, Beamsy. I'm. You're coming right at the end, unless you've been listening in the background. I'm wrapping things up. I'm saying goodbye. I've been doing that for like 5 minutes, like I usually do. I'm trying to come up with some things to tell people. I want to accomplish something good. So yeah, no, I am in what they call a fellowship. It's not a fellowship in what people would think of as an academic thing. Pain just woke you up. Yeah, because you should probably be sleeping, right? Anyway, I think you're in a different part than I don't know. You're in Oz anyway. I know you're in Australia, and I know it's like about a 12-hour difference, depending on where you are. So it is 1:30 a.m. Yeah, so I had 10 hour, 10, 3. Yeah, so you're like, is it almost? It's 11. No, it's 10:35. Yeah, I'm looking at my watch on this thing. So I had 12 to that, and I would get, yeah. So you're like 13 hours ahead of me. No, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15 hours. 15 hours ahead. It's 15 hours difference. Anyway, Beamsy, it is always good to have people come by. And I am going here. Okay. Holy fuck, I gotta find out more stuff. There's crazy shit going on. So here's what I'm gonna end my show with these pieces of advice. If you're an American and you haven't voted yet, go out and fucking vote. Exercise your democratic right. I know a lot of people are going to tell you who to vote for and what to vote for. I'm not going to do that. I tell you to vote for what? Vote for what counts. Think about what your life is all about. Think about who's in your life, who you love, who you care about, and vote for them. Vote in their interest and in yours. That's my advice. Find out who that is. Don't think about just, one thing. Don't be a one-issue voter. Be a better life voter. Better life for everybody. Anyway, I'm sure it already is a shit show, BMZ. I haven't looked too much at it this morning, but I will. I know it'll be a shit show. Anyway, I do recommend that you exercise your democratic rights, keep your democratic rights, and vote for the people that want your democratic rights to be as close to being there as already. Second thing I'm going to say is try to be nice to everyone that you encounter. And if you encounter somebody that isn't nice, find a way to understand where they're coming from. It's probably somewhere shitty, but try to find out where they're coming from and work with them somehow. And the last thing I'm going to say, and this is really fucking important. This is the important thing that I say. I don't always say something important, but I try my best to do that. So here we go. It's important to understand that everyone's going through something somewhere. Everyone's got their shit going on. And it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand where people come from sometimes, because what you think is going on might be like you think it's the same as what's in your mind. It's not always. And I've had a lot of interactions recently that are really, really strange. Especially with Mr. Slave fellow who I've talked about, who had a conversation with he had a conversation with me. Mr. Slave had a conversation with me a couple of times privately, once or twice online. And then he had a chat with Dr. Tapioca Weasel, which, if you go to Mr. Slave's channel, it's on there. I might actually examine it a little bit. If Dr. Tap's okay with it, I'm going to ask Dr. Tap if he's okay with me doing that, or if he wants to come and talk to me about this. Because I think Dr. Tap and I've had some private conversations that are interesting, and maybe we could have a show about it, about how science miscommunication and misinformation is fucking people up. And BMZ, I understand. Yeah, you know what, BMZ, and that is why you treat others how you want to be treated in a similar situation. And I think BMZ, that is a good point. I'm gonna make one slight variation on it. Is don't just treat others how you want to be treated. Do that when you don't know, but if someone explains to you how they want to be treated, do your best to accommodate that. because I think that's important. That's important as well. Because I think we all have various situations that we're comfortable with, and I think it's also important. Um, and I think about this sometimes is to behave yourself. And this isn't to anyone in particular. I know Beamsy's had some issues in the community, so I don't want to call out Beamsy. I want to say this is something that Beamsy's reminded me of when he said that this is Beamsy here. I treat others how I want to be treated in a similar situation, and I just want to say generally, this is not aimed at Beamsy. I don't want them to feel singled out here. Is that understanding that no, I'm not Beamsy. This is not me calling you out because you, just like everyone, runs into issues where you run up against people in your thinking. That's going to happen, right? Not everybody's going to agree with everybody, and some people are going to act out a certain way against certain things, and some people are just going to do what they do. And Beamsy, I don't think is a bad person. I think Beamsy's said and done some things that have pissed off people, and I'm personally pissed off about it. But I don't want to get into the nitty gritty. Beamsy was on here a few weeks ago, and we had a chat about it, and I commented on the specifics of what he said was going on, and it's really not so relevant to this because I'm sure that over time Beamsy will work on repairing relationships here and there. That has nothing to do with anything, because I think Beamsy's a good guy who's been through a lot. And Beamsy, if you ever want to like come on and talk about like where you're at and what you've been through, it might be worth it. You don't have to. But Beamsy is someone who, I was talking about the injury I had to my arm, and Beamsy sent me some photos of how damaged his arm was. Like, Beamsy's been through a lot. It's a big thing to have your body majorly repaired. What I know from the situation I've been through with my lung being all fucked up and being off work for 3 months and having to like learn how to live a life at home, a lot of life at home, and learn how to sort of get by day to day. You know what, Beamsy? It looks like my work's going to have me off and on, like some days on, some days off. So, hey, let's talk about that. I've got your contact on Discord. If I'm sure that I'm going to be off on a day, I'll send you a message, and if it works, you can come explain what you've been through. I think people don't know what it's like until they've been through something, or sometimes you have a family member that like gets majorly injured or gets a terrible disease, and you see it a little bit. But we often don't talk about what it's like. We talk about what it's like, say, like, oh, my father, like, because my father was very sick. My father had a stroke. He was in a big car accident because he had a stroke behind the wheel, and shit went sideways from there. And then he ended up dying of cancer, which, because he had all these other medical issues, wasn't necessarily masking the cancer, but people weren't looking hard enough because he had other reasons to be in so much pain and discomfort. Because it was only a year and a half later that he passed. But it was a lot for my mom to deal with. We thought about that a lot about, but there was, we didn't ask him a lot about what it was like to sit in his situation. And so Beamsy, having been through a major injury and repair and recovery, that's something. And Beamsy, I also know, shares my interest in astrophysics, which I find it exceedingly interesting. So maybe Beamsy would be a good person to have on the show, despite the fact that the Beamsy's said and done things that piss people off. Maybe Beamsy should come and talk about what's going on in his life, and because Beamsy, I really truly believe, is a good person, a good soul, people might say, although I don't believe in souls, but has has said and done things that piss people off. People are going to do that. I say and do things that piss people off, and it is important to understand where people come from. And I hesitate to write off anyone because of things. You have 4 good souls. I don't know where you keep them, Beamsy, but it sounds like a lot to contain. Anyway, I think, having having physical and mental issues that come out of all sorts of scenarios, whether they're inborn traits and genetics or whether they're from injuries. We have so many things going on, and I've talked so much about how good mental health and physical health and injury, they all mesh together. And as someone that lives with obesity and metabolic derangement, diabetes, and a lot of other comorbidities and asthma, and the asthma and the size of my body have made it really hard to recover as quickly as I'd like to, because it's a lot more work for me to get up from like what do you call atrophy? The atrophy of like laying in bed for over a month before I could really walk again, other than a few steps to the bathroom and back. I was luckily not in a situation where I had to use a bedpan and stuff, but it was close. It was like it was really close. I was almost there. And I was really glad not to. Lots of people have had to. Lots of people go through a lot of things, and being at the edge, being like, I literally was one morning, they were like, if you don't start improving, we are putting you in the ICU. And it's scary. It's scary to be at the precipice of that. And I had been visiting my friend who passed this summer. I feel like I need to polish my chrome here. If I polish my microphone, is that it's probably really loud. Hopefully it isn't. I just feel like it's really, the chrome isn't shiny enough here. And as a trucker, shiny chrome makes me feel really good. And I don't know. This is a blue snowball. It's made by, I think, the same company that makes the Yeti mic. Anyway, I've been saying goodbye for, I don't know, 25 minutes here. I do encourage people to find out where people are coming from, and find empathy for them and their situation, and find it in yourself to understand how they want to be treated as well. Not just how you want to be treated, but treat people the way they want to be treated, and understand what that is and why that is. And also, I think we need to understand, this is aimed at no one in particular. Is something I think about, is that we need to remember something about our interpersonal relationships, and the fact that they're not all the same. And this is something that I try really hard to yeah, Jester, why don't I ever watch your content if you're talking on the Blue Snowball? Understanding that different relationships involve different types of communication. And this is something that I'm working to learn. And people have been accepting of me coming in as the coarse mouth trucker who has a lexicon that involves scientific jargon, construction jargon, truck jargon, and a lot of curse words. You haven't launched yet, okay? Jester, make sure you tag me in for hearing what you've got to say. I'm sure you'll have an interesting show. You have a deadline, okay? You have a deadline now, okay? Yeah, well, Jester, I'm curious to see what this is all about. I feel like there's a community of people here that I interact with that have taught me a lot of things about the different ways people think and the different places people come from. Yeah, and Beamsy, that's a very inappropriate thing to say, and so of course I'm going to put it up here. Oh my, who paid the price to get all the polished to shiny parts on Steam? Steam, well, stream, I'm sure is what you meant, but yes, I'm polishing my microphone. Apparently, I saw a video of this. I don't think it was edited. I don't think it was a spoof. Apparently, Trump was doing at a rally. He was like making quite lewd gesticulations that may or may not have been an allusion to a microphone with that was very heavy with fellatio and a little bit of handwork there. It was wrong. It was wrong looking. It wasn't very presidential, but many presidents have done some unpresidential things. My opinion on politics is pretty strong. I am though a collection of different things. I don't think one way on things, and our relationships with people involve speaking different ways, communicating different ways, and I'm I'm looking forward to communicating with people when I get to this what do you call it, conference. I'm going to a conference in a couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to reconnecting with my fellows who I've been working with and collaborating with very frequently, bi-weekly, and sometimes more frequently. We've been collaborating on our fellowship projects. We've been doing our fellowship projects. I have been putting a lot of effort into getting the right type of imagery and the right type of wording to tell the stories, and we have a lot of backup documentation on the improved results from having medical professionals of all types and researchers and people in the patient category and their advocates and the people that are with them, and learning how to be an advocate and teach advocacy to people with the right type of wording has been important. And people have been saying, hey, Al, just be yourself. Like, come on in there and be the guy that talks about being a bad motherfucker and telling people how it is and what it's like. But I also am trying to share with people what it's like to be, naked under a sheet and about to have people work on your ding dong and tell you shit that makes you feel bad. And that's, that's something that people don't necessarily understand, right? It's a vulnerable position to be in. And guys like me don't want to be vulnerable. And that's the main reason that I have come out in support of being a patient advocate, is because when I show up to patient advocacy things, I am almost always, when it comes to diabetes and when it comes to being overweight, obesity, bariatric medicine, they have to search really hard to find males that will come and participate. Females will show up and participate. For some reason, women are much more comfortable sharing. It's a social thing, I believe. I think men are trained to not share, especially not with each other. Unless maybe every once in a while you might share with a really close personal friend or like your spouse or something like that. You might share some of your innermost thoughts and secrets. But I tell you, it is not easy to go through something where you're mistreated, maybe even inadvertently, and just say, hey, that's not right. That's not the way this should be done. People should not be made to feel this way. You should not be making your patients feel guilty for being themselves, for having the conditions they have. What you should be doing is coming up with ways to help them. And if you believe something is wrong, if you believe something needs help, the solution to that is to step up and find them help. And that's one of the messages. Like, so in a situation where that was what I encountered, was somebody telling me there's something wrong with me, but not helping me fix it, but being super upset about what was wrong with me. And that being my excess adipose tissue was pissing them off. And they maybe don't understand how bad that makes me feel, right? This is one of the problems. So this is something like that I have a huge connection to, but I try to take that and connect it to all the other bad things people feel about themselves, the way people have been made to feel unwelcome and maybe unable to stand up for themselves in certain scenarios. And so that's why I want to stand up. I want to stand with everybody who's been maligned by people who feel like it's their job and their duty to malign them. Why is that? I do not know. I do not know why people feel that that's the way they need to do things. But people do this, and it may never stop. But in professional settings, we can definitely stop it. And if I have to say in coarse language that it's got to stop and these motherfuckers got to change their attitude, maybe that's what I got to say. But I can also drop the French seal out of the situation, and I can say it without coarse language. I can say that it behooves all medical professionals to take it upon themselves to educate themselves and meet patients in situations where the power dynamic is gone and they can just be people sharing amongst each other, and realize that being an MD doesn't make you some sort of a all-powerful deity. that knows everything about everyone and gets everything up on them. That's not the way it ought to be. It's important for medical professionals to realize that they're just other humans. Most of them do. That the ones that want to impose their will or their power or exert their authority over other people to make themselves feel good are few and far between, but some of them are there. It's my duty as someone who's been in a bad situation to stand up for myself and others like me. When I couldn't stand up when I was in the midst of it. For some reason I couldn't. I should have had a different attitude at the time, but I was a little bit shocked that it was happening. And when I realized what was happening and realized that I'd been through it many times before, I expected it to happen. My wife expected it to happen. And I want to change it. And there's some other situations. I'm just not telling every story in this thing, but we've decided to start with the 2 stories we know the best. So my partner and I in this we're going to tell our own stories, and we're collecting a whole bunch more. And we're hoping to make like 6 or 8 of these little graphic novel style vignettes that we're going to share. Beamsy. And so first of all, I wanted to say that Shenanigans McGee has a deadline. I'm looking forward to it. It is an aspect of selfishness and tribalism. The aspect of making change to themselves needs the first step of I am wrong. No, understanding where you've been wrong is important. And too many cannot do this. They think their way is the best way. Yeah. And Beamsy, this is a problem on all sides. It's possible to be right about 99 things and wrong about the 100th thing. And it's possible to be right about one thing and wrong about 99 others. And it may be more likely that it's like 50-50. It may be that you've been, if we all think about this, what have you been taught in your life? What have you been told and taught? This is the way this ought to be done. And this is the way you need to do it. We get taught by our parents. Maybe we get taught by other important people in our lives, teachers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, close friends, our peers. We often learn from them. I think we often develop a lot of what we think and do from our peers. And so bullying behavior can be copied and emulated, right? Like bullying behavior is one of the main things I'm trying to push back against. Is like, what is gained by being a bully? You should ask yourself. If you're a bully, you should ask yourself this. And I'm sure I've bullied people in the past, and I feel kind of shitty about it. And I know that the one bullying behavior I still have is making fun of people who are trying to do harm to us. And I don't know, is that the right way? Should I be pushing back by lambasting them and making fun of them for having really shitty opinions? And will I be able to change them? Am I going to be able to convince Greg Locke that my son is not possessed by a demon? Maybe, maybe not. But I'll probably never meet Greg Locke. He's a pissant little bastard. But what it can do with Greg Locke is tell people that he's a fucking moron and that they shouldn't listen to him. And hopefully I'll convince 1 or 2 people that that's true. And they'll laugh at him when they hear the song about him and what a fucking doofus he is. Right and wrong is such a malformed aspect of behavior as to many what is right, but okay. I'm gonna think about this and then I'm gonna end with some sort of platitude. Right and wrong is such a malformed aspect of behavior as too many do what is right, but it is harmful. Yeah, I mean this is an interesting thought. So Beamsy, I'll definitely I'm gonna reach out to you. I'll have you on the show and have you explain what you're thinking, and hopefully it'll go well. Preferred approach situation will lead to causing lesser harm to others. Yeah, and Beamsy, this is one of those situations where are we talking about that so like, is it a philosophy question? I don't even know. It's a question like the streetcar problem. I think they had it written out as like you throw a switch and you can save one person you love or kill 5 people you don't know. and that's your only choice, is like, I kind of want to know who has set up the scenario. Who's the evil fucking bastard that set up the scenario? We've certainly seen lots of situations like this happen, and I don't really know I don't know how to answer the question. Maybe I should figure this out. Maybe there's a right and a wrong answer. The person I love is doomed in that situation. Yeah, so Beamsy, this is like, it's a big conversation, right? Like, how do you make this decision? Do I kill the person I love to save a greater number of people? I don't fucking know. Because, like, I know that we're often moved by our own emotions, right? Because of right and wrong, it's just so subjective. Yeah, no, and BMZ, this is. I was listening to somebody talk yesterday. I forget who it was. I don't want to fail to give credit, but I just don't remember. I listened to a bunch of sort of podcast style shows yesterday. I was on the road for over 12 hours, so I had lots of time to listen in the truck. Except for loading and unloading, I had it on, like, I just ran my phone through the radio, which is good. I enjoyed it a lot. Just listening. Commenting gets me off track. I love commenting too, like what Beansy's doing here, commenting in my side chat. But right and wrong is very subjective. So I think that the question was coming from, it might have been, it wasn't fuckface Frank Turk. It was the one of those other knobheads was talking to. I was listening to like a debate between Christopher Hitchens and one of those fucking theologian idiots. Doesn't matter. It was somebody other than Frank Turek, who's a fuckface. And they're like, well, you can only have objective morality with a God. And like, no, it's subjective morality, and you're telling people that you learned it from your God. All morality is subjective. It just is. What we talk about is morality, what's right and wrong from the point of view of humanity, is based on that. And so we all want to protect ourselves and our families first and foremost. I think everybody understands that. Our desire to do that, the things that we like, the love and connection and bonding that we have between humans, is deep and it's strong for most of us. Some people it's different. I get that. People's psychology and interaction can be different. People have all sorts of different mental states. But I think by and large, the average person, and spread very far out on the bell curve, has a deep sense of responsibility and protective nature towards the people they love. And so as I get to over 40 minutes of saying goodbye, I say it is important to protect and love the ones you love, but it's also important to protect and love our society, and protect it from those that want to do it harm. And I'm probably starting to sound like I'm pontificating for the wrong side, because you may be thinking that I'm defending something different than what I'm defending. What I want to defend is the humanity of our entire world. I want to say that what makes us different is so small and so insignificant. What connects us is huge. We're all part of the human race, and we're all trying to survive and thrive to some degree. And it's important to take stock of how hard some people are working for it, and how easy it comes to others, and how important it seems to some to control us all, to steer us all in one direction or another. And I believe some people will have been told that I'm just one of the woke liberal idiots who don't understand how the world works, and that my lack of respect for their God and whatever is going to be a big problem. Well, the huge amount of respect I have for humanity is just me being a woke idiot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you are offended so much by my acceptance of the different amounts of melanin people have in their skin as being a very stupid thing to be worried about. That people's cultural heritage, their country of birth, is not fucking relevant to whether or not they're human, whether or not they need to eat, and breathe, and drink water, and be alive and thrive and be free to do what they want to do. These things are really fucking important and are important to me. And I don't think it should be a political issue whether or not human life has value, whether or not we value humanity as a whole, and whether we say that lives matter. You know, people get upset with Black Lives Matter, I think, because it's been made into a political thing. Because they're like, of course Black Lives matter. People will say this all the time. Of course they matter. All lives matter. And then the retort is, if all lives matter, Black lives have to matter, right? All lives won't matter until Black lives matter. Because I don't understand. The point that's being made is that, in particular, people of color, and in the USA specifically, people who are deemed to be Black, whatever that means. And I believe it means people of more recent African descent and like non-European Black people. They just mean people with like a lot more melanin. You can see I'm a pale ass motherfucker, right? I'm from Northern Europe. That's what my heritage is. But I'm born and raised in Canada. I didn't have any choice as to where I was born. I didn't have any choice as to what my skin color is, nor did any person of color. And the way that they're treated as disposable is fucked up. And you know what, Beamsy, you're right. No, like from a like universal point of view, like, does the universe care if our lives come and go? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't fucking matter. But I'd like to leave this world a better place than I came in. Because I came into a place where a lot of people were mistreated just as a general course of everything. I was told over and over again, like, the last thing, you don't want to be gay, you don't want to be female, you don't want to be Black, you don't want to be brown, you don't want to be small, you don't want to be short, you don't want to be fat, you don't want to be brown, you don't want to be gay, and you don't want to be a woman. Those are all the terrible things to be. That was what I was taught as a kid. And you don't want to admit that you have any of your own fucking emotions. Another thing I was taught as a kid. Let me tell you, all those things are fucking wrong. Now, I'm a man. I'm not gay. That's just the way I am. I love women and I love men in my life because I love them as people. Romantically, sexually, I'm attracted to women. That's just who I am and how I am. But people that are something else, they're fine. It's fine for them to be themselves. And the fear of them and what they are and who they are, it's fucking bullshit. The fear of people who have darker skin than me is fucking bullshit. I don't want to be that because I can't. I can't be that. I just am not. Beamsy, I know you're making a joke, but like, you know, I'm going to assume that people think it's funny. But try to be a little bit more sympathetic. But I get it. Anyway, I don't want to stop you from being yourself either. And you know, if pushing it a little too far is who you are, I guess that's part of it too, right? Anyway, I want to be very, very clear on this. This is important to me in a huge way, is that we treat each other with respect and understand that other people are just themselves. They were born who they are, and they're being who they are, and they were brought up in the society they were brought up in, and there's a lot of individual differences there. I can respect and understand that, but I also need to change certain things. There's things that are happening to people where they're being treated so bad that they're being killed, they're being abused, they're being assaulted, and their rights are being taken away. Yeah, absolutely. Beamsy, this is, I mean, I appreciate you were just trying to make a joke. And this is, I agree with you on this 100%. What people do in their bedroom is their business, and you should be comfortable there at home. Like, yeah. And that's right. I mean, and honestly, like, if you are spending your time thinking about my sex life, I don't know. I don't know if there's something wrong with you or not, but please don't tell me about it. And just, go live your life and enjoy your sex life. And I'm going to enjoy mine, and I'm not going to talk about the specifics of it. I'm just going to say that it's important to have one if you're so inclined. That's it. And beating up, killing, and abusing people for having a different mindset than you is fucked up. If you don't want to have certain types of sex lives in your life, just don't fucking have them. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Welcome, Dave. I'm about to wrap up. I've been wrapping up for an hour. I was going to do this for like an hour and a bit, and I fucking lost it. Anyway, I just kept on going on and on and on. Beamsy is fucking egging me on too. Yeah. And Beamsy, this is also important. Here we go. If you judge people based on the color of skin, it shows they judge books by their covers, never really experienced the books. And this is important. The cover of a book is important. And one of the things that I often do is I try to put different types of images on all of my work that I do. I try to put weird images up on my shows as the title card. And I like for them to have almost nothing to do with what's inside, or what they have to do with it is a little cryptic and hard to follow. There's usually something going on there. I usually have an idea in my head of what the connection is, but people don't always see it. I also have realized that just having something eye-grabbing is important, and so I do that. And book publishers have that. The thing is, what catches your eye and what catches your mind and your heart and all that kind of stuff, then speaking colloquially, they're different things. So the important messages that I have, as always, are to be nice to your fellow humans. Try to understand where they're coming from. Develop as much empathy as you can for them, and then act accordingly. Do the best you can. This is another day you can live, and you can be the best you that you can be. And because it's an election day in the USA, one of my first messages when I started saying goodbye nearly an hour ago was get out there and vote. If you have the right to vote, exercise that right. It's really fucking important. If you haven't already, please get down to the polls. Take a bottle of water with you. Take a jug to piss in if you need to. Truckers know how to do it. Everyone should learn how to do it. You got to have a plan. And push back against those that have your interests least in mind. And push forward on having your interests top of mind. And I'm just going to say one more thing as I look in the camera here. The background of my show is a fucking mess because I haven't hung up my fucking map here. This is a map of my country, Canada. It's a great fucking country. I love this place. But you know what? There's lots of other fucking great places. Anyway, and my kids drew something over here, and it looks kind of like a boomerang, or I don't know. It actually kind of looks a little bit like a willy, and I'm kind of worried about that. Neither of the big two win. Beamsy, I understand where you're coming from on that. My personal politics, I don't think are a secret. I think Trump is a terrible person with terrible ideas, and mostly because he doesn't have ideas. He just has money and greed. That's all I see from him. Just a narcissistic piece of shit that wants money and power and doesn't really give a shit about anybody. Not even like nobody. Like this guy would throw his own mother in front of a train if it put 5 pennies in his pocket. That's kind of how I see him. But that's my opinion. I don't have a vote. They're just my neighbors, but they're good neighbors. I have a great deal of respect and I have a great deal of empathy for them where they are, because they're at a crossroads here in this vote, because they're pushing against something that's always been a problem in politics, and that is that ideas and ideals take a backseat to personalities and greed and corruption and the wag the dog mentality of things. If you haven't seen Wag the Dog, might be a good day to rent that movie and watch it. Yeah, and Beamsy, Trump has a lot of issues. Kamala is not really leadership material. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, Beamsy. I've seen some leadership material in there, but is it 100%? I don't know. Nobody's 100% perfect for any job, We all have lots to learn. But here's what I'm going to say. This is my ending thought. Get out there and vote. Have respect for your fellow humans and try to do something good for somebody today. And more importantly, do something good for yourself. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that makes you feel well and it gives you some peace. Get out there and do that. If nothing else today, look after yourself a little bit. Make sure that you matter so that you're in a state to help others. Something I often forget to do, or I just do poorly. And whatever that is for you, please do that today too. It's a very important thing. And if you do that and you're in good shape, set yourself some goals. Set down some things that you want to accomplish and figure out how to accomplish them. They may be hard to reach. They may be out of reach. They may be really difficult, but let's work together to get there. When you're here, come on and tell me what those things are. The next time I come and share, I'm not sure what day that'll be. It may end up being Thursday. There's stuff going on. I'm going to work on it. Anyway, I think okay. Beamsy says this. Let him have this word, and then I'm ending this. I am worried after I pass away, someone might see what I was coming from. And I have someone who will purge my hard drive after I pass away. Well, you see, Beamsy, I don't want to judge you on this. I don't want to judge you on this at all. Yeah. So here we are. And yes, Dave, the weather, there's another weather system building in the south, and it's working its way north. And Dave, I was probably pretty fucking close to you yesterday, Dave, because I came all the way down to pretty much I could have thrown a pebble to Detroit. I know it's a bad joke, but Beamsy, it's not entirely a bad joke because you know what? Having something that gets you off is also important. It's another way that we look after ourselves. Hopefully, what you're doing is legal, and legal because it's consensual and with adults. Please don't be the kind of person where I have to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Be the kind of person that is telling you that's your business, and please keep it that way. I don't know why I have these papers here. I feel like Dave Letterman slapping the cards. All right, not a euphemism, by the way. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. It's been a 2-hour show that I never intended. It's been twice as long as I intended it to be, but that's because I'm a rambling fool. And it was nice to have Dog and Commander come on and say hello from the UK. We talked about Peugeots. We talked about all sorts of fun stuff. And go be yourself. Be yourself and have a good day. Thank you, Victoria. Everyone, I can't thank you enough. Appreciate the interaction. And it's good to see you, Victoria. I know you're often working hard at what you work on and listening. If you are my way on a haul, let me know. Yeah, absolutely. Dave, if I get sent down, and we do haul out of, we haul some shit out of Ohio, and I don't get sent on those runs very often. There's certain guys they like to send on them because they know them, but I'll go do them again. I'd love to go do them again. So haven't been down to the U.S. in a bit, but I put my thing in there. Dr. Tap, what the fuck are you doing here coming at the end of my show? Hell and hello to you. Hell, Dr. Tap. I talked about you earlier. I'm sure you're happy to know. So, Dr. Tap, you and I gotta have a chat about whether you want to come and talk about the weird thoughts of and the weird conversation you had with Mr. Slave, because I'd like to get your take on what's a good way to think about shit. Does magnetic trench coat come from? You know what? I've been hiding a ferrocell image of a magnet inside my son's computer here. To quote the great Austin Witless. We talked about him on Slim Stream last night for a couple of minutes. What a fucking doofus. Yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, Dr. Tap, Dr. Tap's like my best buddy. So it's great to have you come in. I've been saying he's so open-minded though. Yes, self-professed open-minded. Some people are saying maybe the most open-minded. Maybe not as open-minded as Ken Hovind, but he's pretty fucking open-minded. I think if we cracked his head open, we would see a goo come out of it. I was trying to have like a respect for him and like maybe like sort of like an amicable thing, but I'm feeling like he's not reachable. I mean he's almost like your buddy Pitch Lumen there, right? Anyway, I'm saying goodbye once and for all for today. Dr. Tap, give me a call later. Let's have a chat when you're not trapped under a laser beam. Beamsy, thanks for coming. He's open-minded to all ideas. Victoria, have you seen this Mr. Slave person? Just if you're able to just say yes or no, I'm just interested if you've seen them. And yeah, because Victoria probably has some interesting stuff to say. But yeah, I gotta end this because like I've got some shit I gotta do today too. You haven't seen Mr. Slave? Okay. You're probably better off, but you have the background knowledge to know how fucked in the brain he is on how he sees things. And I had a weird interaction with him on the weekend, I guess. I don't even remember, but I had a texted back and forth with him on some shit because he was asking me to do some stuff. And I was like, hey, I'll look into that. Like I'm a truck driver, but like I'll fucking look into science because I love science. And there we ended up there. And see, this is it. I like naked chicks and I like science. And if I could get the two together, that would be fucking awesome. But that's not the way life works. Anyway, do not go raw. Yeah, it's a different Mr. Slave. I don't know why he picked that name. Mr. Slave. Yeah, it's not the right Mr. Slave. But I don't know if there is a right Mr. Slave, although I understand it's a very funny character on South Park. So keep your mind open to reality and have a great day. Thanks, everybody.